learn from laughter. When it come to handles, never had one. With a bad one, made a meal today and they my last one. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. Don't really need down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top on the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even. Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday.
Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This will be fielded at the 6. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense here set to take over with Russell Wilson leading the way. Wilson, a Pro Bowler 5 times in his 7 NFL seasons, including last year, when he threw for a career-high 35 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions.
Check 55 to Mike.
You don't want this.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13, Wilson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. This is taken at about the 14. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Throwing is Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. And that seemed to me to be all about trusting your receiver.
No doubt about it, because when he put that ball in the air, I will guarantee you everyone who's watching this game right now thought that's up for grabs. But this is a lot of practice time. As you mentioned, a ton of trust, and he knows how good his guy is. So to him, it wasn't up for grabs. To him, it was a big play waiting to happen.
19 yards there on the catch and run. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
One thing for us to keep in mind and remember, they're coming off of their open week last week. They got to sit home and relax a little bit before the final stretch of the season. They got the lucky draw because every team in the league wants to have that open week later in the year rather than early. They benefited.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's Dalvin Cook, 3rd year back from Florida State. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. They're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the number 1 overall passing team in the NFL. But it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. That's caught by Treadwell. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
36.
On 2nd and goal, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. This one taken just inside the 10. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, look now at our starting defense. Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
And that play right there shows exactly why they're so good against the run. Held the line of scrimmage, held the point of attack, and stuffed him for no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going
from midfield now. Here's Wilson. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these guys.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
I'm going to get you all day.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are, and I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way. One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. That's 2 really excellent drives for them to start this ballgame, both ending with touchdown passes.
In big picture, they look great, don't they? Like a well-oiled machine right now. But let's down focus a little bit and talk about the guy calling the signals and throwing the passes. He is playing with precision right now, scanning the field and making excellent throws.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Now a hit and a loose football.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed, because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Carson, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Come on, QB, come on.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Cousins now. It's complete to Diggs. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of 35. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Throwing, Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Irv Smith Jr., his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 21-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling.
Now Carson fumbles the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw again. Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. 21-0, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Break that. 315. 54. Go 14. Let's go, D.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
To throw again is Wilson. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
The average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. He'll return it from the 6. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And really a solid group effort. I mean, the montage focuses on him, and rightfully so. But it's been a good job of a team to get this lead.
I'm with you.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 12 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Cousins now 14 out of 17, 82%. And it's 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's able to get this to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And the pressure too much that time. Cousins goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Watch my forward. Not today, you are. Not today.
Following the interception, Cousins to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, receiver. Hey, exit.
54. Mike, 54.
Check.
54, Mike.
Cousins the thrower. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On 3rd down, Cousins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
After the interception, here's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one.
He set up the screen and complete it. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. Well, they took your advice from a bit earlier, tried the screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or 2 away from making it work.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing is Wilson. Pressure Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1
every single time.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Football continuing all December here on EA Sports. Coming up Thursday night, a good one from the Windy City. It ought to be a cold one, too. The Cowboys and the Bears from Soldier Field with coverage at 8:20 Eastern Time. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here's Wilson, and that will be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play caller. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Cousins. He's got Smith here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 yards, first down, Vikings. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. On second down, Cousins again. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken very short.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. So with a big gainer anyways, he'll go ahead and take that instead of the pass interference call.
They didn't need the penalty. It would have been different, right, if they had somehow lost some yardage somewhere, but they did not. Gained all they could, down to the spot of the foul. Nothing to be gained by taking the penalty.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Going to throw again. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Myers' kick is good. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He only has a single solo carry, 1, numero uno. Second quarter, they need to get in the ball more, don't they?
I'm not the greatest statistician in the world.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougald. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a pick 6 there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
Almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team.